let's talk about Monkey Man. Just like everyone else, I was excited about Monkey Man when I first saw that trailer drop a few weeks ago. It looked exciting. It was interesting that it was being produced by Jordan Peele, and then being directed by Dev Patel. That was the most exciting part about it. Dev Patel has always been a very credible actor. He can do comedy, he can do drama, he can do all sorts of different types of movies, and it was just really exciting to see him in something so raw and so great. And I gotta say, this movie delivers on all cylinders. I really, really love this movie. And to think that a movie like this was gonna go straight to Netflix, which I'm not saying that movies on Netflix aren't great, but this is a movie that really needs to be seen in theater to really appreciate it. At its core, it's a revenge film, but there's so much more layers and dimensions to this film. It has a great art direction, production design. I really like the soundtrack. It's a killer soundtrack. I even enjoyed the cinematography. Yes, the action sequences do use some shaky cam, but I felt so engaged and so much at the edge of my seat. Every time a punch was thrown, I felt it. There are so many moments like this throughout the movie. It has some really high highs. When someone got their comeuppance, you felt excited with him and you felt this awe of relief. But even at its core, there are some very emotional moments in this film too that will have you in tears. Me growing up, my mom and my grandmother both told me stories about Hanuman, and those stories lingered with me. And to this day, I still use that as a way to get through some difficult times in my life. And it makes me feel inspired as well. So, on a very emotional level, I really connected with the story, especially the story of Hanuman. But I really like the core of Indian culture that it does delve into. There's a lot to appreciate in this film, and I think for the most part, I enjoyed everything of it. And can we talk about Dev Patel? Not only is this man a really talented actor, but he's also a very talented director. You can kind of tell that this is a first time director's film. There are some visual choices that he does that kind of indicate that, but it really gives him a strong footing, especially as a writer slash director, because the writing in this film is just incredible. I really think he knows exactly what he wanted to tell and wanted to say, and he did it so well and so deliberately in this film. There are things that I can see him improving on as he becomes a more experienced director, but for a first time effort, this is a truly wonderful movie that felt personal. It was emotional. Again, the cast is great, the acting is great, the music, the cinematography, the art direction especially, and just the lore and history and mythology, and just the respect that he gives to our culture. It's just so well, and it's definitely a movie that you need to watch on the big screen just to get that true feeling of watching a movie like this on the big screen. It's probably one of the better revenge movies I've ever seen, and it's easy to just make this movie into John Wick in India, but there's so much more to it, and there's also a really good running joke on it that's being told in the movie. But overall, this is a great movie, and I love it.